I can remember some of them thinking that we're going to kill them. They'd tell me, well, I know you're going to kill me, but I want to call my mama first.
Don't worry about your children. They are going to be all right. Don't hold them back if they want to go to jail, for they are doing a job for all of America and for all mankind.
The day of the teacher is gone. Y'all all right? Y'all all right?
Tell me I couldn't go back to church, which is where it all started in the first place, right?
Well, in that church, I'd have two Birmingham detectives. Well, we had a microphone. We didn't tell them that. You've got to know what the other guy's doing if you're going to whip him.
Listen up, brothers and sisters. If today was D-Day, tomorrow will be double D-Day.
Who's the king? Christ! Who's the king? Christ! Not no Martin Luther King ain't the king. Christ is the king. That's right. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. Bring it out. For the leaders of this people cause them to err. Leaders of this people.
They aim for your head to knock you down. And that water had pressure behind it. It hurt.
And these chosen people are the 12 tribes of Israel, and it's made up of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and you Native Americans. That's why you went into slavery, because you broke God's laws. Give me that. Isaiah 44:1. Prove that God has a chosen people. Bring it up. The book of Isaiah, chapter 44, and verse 1. Read. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. So God chose a people, and the name of these people were the nation of Israel. And God didn't mean for these people to be mingled with all other nations. Give me Deuteronomy 32:8. Deuteronomy 32:8. What you heard from your slave master and Dr. King is not in the Bible. The Bible does not tell you to join hand in hand with the other nations. The Most High God said you were separate from all other nations. Read this. We're going to show you that the Most High separated the nations. Bring it up. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8. Read. When the Most High divided the nation. When he did what? Divided the nation. So God divided the people. That's why we can't get along. The Most High divided the people. Read. Their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam. So the Most High separated the sons of Adam. That's why you all different. We different from the other nations. We different from the other nations. He don't want you to join to the other nation. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. And listen what he said about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and you Native Americans. The Bible does not condone coming together as a nation. That is against God. Dr. King did not preach out of the Bible. Bring it out. You will not hear on any of his sermons where he read out of the Bible. Yes, Lord. Bring it out. He was following what his leader was, Ghandi. Ghandi. He followed that doctrine. He didn't follow the doctrine of life, which is in this Bible. That's why y'all went into slavery, for joining hand in hand with the other nations. And I'm gonna prove that out of the Bible. Read that. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. Listen what God said about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and you Native Americans. Read out. For thou art an holy people. For thou are what? A holy people. God said you are a holy people. Read. Unto the Lord thy God. Unto who? The Lord thy God. God said you are holy people unto him. Read. The Lord thy God
have chosen thee.
The Most High chose a certain group of people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
To be a special people.
To be a what?
A special people.
Read.
Unto himself.
Uh-huh.
Above all people.
Equal to all people.
Above all people.
You supposed to be above all people. You're not gonna You're not gonna hear this in your Christian church. You better open up the Bible and read it for yourself. How they supposed to be?
Above all people.
Equal to all people.
Above all people.
Read.
That are upon the face of the earth.
So God chose a certain people to be above all people upon the face of the earth. Not equal to all people upon the face of the earth. The God of this Bible is the God of Israel.
That's right.
It didn't change throughout the whole Bible. Give me Joel 2 and 27. Joel 2 and 27. Listen what the Bible say. What does God say about his chosen people? Listen what God said about his chosen people. Hey, y'all got a fly? The Dr. King dream is in the Bible. Get that for him right quick.
Bring it out, Doc.
We're going to show you about a false prophet that's going to come up talk about a dream.
Bring it out. Bring it out. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 25.
Read.
I have heard what the prophet said. They prophesied lies in my name.
The God said, I heard what the prophet said. King said he was a reverend, right? The Most High said, I heard what the prophet said that prophesies lies in my name. Read.
Said, I have dreamed.
I have what?
I have dreamed.
What King said? I have a dream. I have a dream.
Read out. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesied lies?
He prophesies lies because King didn't tell you to keep God's laws. The reason why you so-called blacks and Hispanics were destroyed by your enemy is because you breaking God's laws.
That's right.
You continue to breaking God's laws. You went into slavery on cargo slave ships. That was prophesied in the Bible. I'm going to show you a curse what's going to happen to you so-called blacks because you broke God's law. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15 right quick for y'all.
Bring it out.
Bring it out. I know y'all got to go, but y'all need to hear this. You went into slavery. You want to know why you went into slavery?
Hey, his name was not Dr. Martin Luther King. His name was Michael King Jr. That's it. They called him Dr. Martin Luther after a white Catholic priest. Guess who they named him after? A white Catholic priest.
That's right.
His name is Michael King Jr. He's not no damn Dr. Martin Luther nothing. His name is Michael King. That's his name. So they need to stop with all the lies. His name is not Dr. Martin Luther. It's Michael King.
Getting back to it, you are God-chosen people, and listen what God said to you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He gave you two options. Either you can keep his laws or you can break his laws. Listen to what he said if you break his laws. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
So if you don't listen to God and do all his commandments, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day,
read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the Most High told his people, look, if you don't do my laws, all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. What is a curse? Evil things gonna happen to a certain group of people. Give me 32. Listen what he said gonna happen to these group of people.
Verse 30,
and they didn't keep his laws. Read.
Verse 32.
Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So God said his people, their sons and daughters gonna be given to another people if they ain't keep his law. When did that happen to us? In slavery. Y'all ever seen 12 years a slave? When that woman kid got took, that happened. That happened to your people. Read on.
Read out,
Read on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand.
When that lady got her children took from her in slavery, she ain't had no might. All she can do was cry. She could not get her kids back because she broke God's laws and we had to go into slavery. Give me 45. Listen to this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 45.
Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
So the Most High said, if you don't keep my laws, I'm going to put curses on you till you be destroyed as a nation of people. We are destroyed in the mind right now. Read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because we didn't listen to the Lord thy God. Read.
to keep his commandments.
To keep his commandments. Read.
And his statutes. Which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
That's how we know who you are today. These curses upon you for a sign and for a wonder. The Most High said you're going to dwell in the worst parts of the city because you broke his laws. When you go to the worst parts of the city, who you see? You see the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and they did a number on the Native American. They on reservations. But that was all from the Most High God. Read on.
And upon thy seed forever.
So these curses going to be upon you forever. Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
So because we didn't serve God when he told us to keep his laws. Read.
Therefore, thou shalt serve thy enemies.
So God said, if you're not going to serve me, I'm going to make you serve your enemy.
Read. Which the Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord sent your enemies against you. Read.
In hunger.
You got to serve your enemies in hunger. If you want anything, if you hungry, who you got to go to get your food? You had to go to another nation of people because you don't own no stores. That's right. You don't own no Kroger.
That's right.
You don't own no Walmart. You don't own none of these grocery stores. Who you got to go to get your food? If you go hunt, you got to go get a license. Who you got to get that from?
Bring it up.
Other nations. You don't own none of them things. Read. Your enemies. Read.
And in thirst.
And thirst. If you want some water, who you got to go buy from? You got to buy from your enemy. Read.
And in nakedness.
If you want clothes, what you got? You got your slave master's name on your garments. Polo. Don't y'all know that's a man's name? Read.
Bring it out. And in the want of all things.
If you want anything, you got to go to your enemy. And what he gonna do to you? Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
According to the Bible, God said your enemy was gonna put a yoke of iron on your neck. Who had yokes of iron on their neck? Slaves. Who had yokes of iron on their neck? Y'all ain't gotta be scared.
Bring it up.
Who had yokes of iron on your neck? You so-called blacks. Hispanics had iron on their neck too.
That's right.
And the Native Americans had iron on their neck. They sold them. They took them out the land, sold them over there in Spain.
Bring it up.
Read on.
Until he have destroyed thee.
So the yoke of iron came off your neck when you were destroyed. You don't know who you are. According to the Bible, if you keeping God's laws, he will protect you. But when you're not keeping his laws, he gonna destroy you.
Right.
And he gonna let you gonna serve your enemies. That's what you're doing here today. You serving your enemies here in a land that you don't even know what's happening to you. Give me 68. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Bring it out.
How did our forefathers get here in America? Did they come over here on vacation?
Bring it out.
Did they come over here on vacation?
No.
Did they take a Bahamas cruise ship over here?
No.
How did they get here? You know that's in the Bible. Give me 68, bro.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
Bring it up.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So according to the Bible, one of the curses was that he was going to bring you into Egypt again with ships. Now what does Egypt mean? What were God chosen people before? Y'all seen the movie Moses when they brought him out of Egypt? What were they doing in Egypt? Slaves. They were slaves in Egypt. So Egypt means something. Give me that. Exodus 20 and 2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2.
Read.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
So God brought us out of the land of Egypt. Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the what?
House of bondage.
So Egypt means bondage. Go back to 68. So the Most High said, look, if you don't keep my laws, I'm going to send you back into bondage. Read.
That's right. Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
Read.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Most High said, how we get here? You came over here in slavery on cargo slave ships. That's how you got here. This is out the Holy Bible. They're not going to teach you this on Sunday morning in your Christian church. But they're teaching you what your oppressors want them to teach you.
That's right. By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Just like Moses told these people it was going to happen to them, that's how it happened to them. What's going to happen to you when you got off them ships? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
You're not going to see your homeland no more again after you got off them ships. Listen to this, black man.
And there ye shall be sold.
You should be what?
Sold.
Your forefathers was sold right here in Memphis on the road down here. What is the road called? They sold you, read,
To your enemies.
to who?
Your enemies.
To your friends.
To your enemies.
No, the people you got a dream with.
Your enemies.
The people you supposed to join hands with.
Your enemies.
Read out. Sold to your enemies. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man gonna save you. So we out here telling our people to repent and come back to God's law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you gonna prosper as a nation of people. You're not gonna prosper by breaking God's laws. Martin Luther King teaching you to break God's laws. Join hand in hand with your enemy. That's not according to the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 1.
Bring it up.
Deuteronomy 30 and 1. Let's see what's gonna happen if you start keeping God's laws. If you start keeping God's law, there's some stuff gonna change around here.
That's right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans start to keep God's laws, it's gonna change. The Most High gonna turn he got his face turned to you right now, but he gonna look right at you and raise you up as a nation of people. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 1.
All right, this is the prophecy if you come back to God's law. Read.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse.
We had blessings back before we went into slavery for breaking God's laws, and we in the curse right now. Read.
Which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind.
So we calling this stuff to mind now. We're remembering why we went into slavery. I didn't know why I went into slavery until I heard this Bible.
That's
I
right.
used to wonder why did we go into slavery? Why we don't own no stores? Why we don't have nothing? I always used to wonder that. Don't you wonder that, brother? It's getting to you. I see you, brother. Read.
Among all the nations, whether the Lord thy God have driven thee,
read.
and shall return unto the Lord thy God.
So if we return to God, mean keep his commandments, read.
And shall obey his voice.
And obey his laws. Like the one law is the day of the Lord's seventh day. You're supposed to come back and start keeping the seventh day. They told you, they give you all the sales on Saturday. Why they do that? They want to keep you in sin. They give you everything on Saturday. You go to the club Saturday. You party. That's all set up for you to do. To keep breaking God's law, read.
According to all that I have commanded thee this day.
So we need to come back to laws and do God's laws and do what he commanded us this day, read.
That's right. Thou and thy children.
Thou and thy children, read.
With all thine heart.
With all your heart, read.
And with all thy soul.
Come on.
That when the Lord thy God will return, that then the Lord thy God will turn.
Then, when you want to know when we gonna come up out of this, when we gonna get back to our rightful state, when we return, then, read.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity.
He gonna turn our captivity when we as a people come back to his laws, read.
And have compassion upon thee.
He gonna have compassion on us, read.
And will return and gather thee from all nations.
So the Most High gonna gather us from all nations where he drove us at, because he scattered us among all the nations for breaking his laws, read.
Whether the Lord thy God have scattered thee,
read.
If any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of heaven.
So if you driven out to the utmost parts of heaven, out in the islands, Jamaica, anywhere, he gonna gather you, read.
From this will the Lord thy God gather thee. And from this will he fetch thee.
Read.
And the Lord thy God will bring thee unto a land which thy fathers possessed.
So he gonna bring us back into our own land, which is Jerusalem. You not from Africa, black man.
Bring it up.
You from Jerusalem, that's your motherland. Read on.
And thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good.
And he gonna do us good, read.
And multiply thee above thy fathers.
Yeah, we're gonna have more than our forefathers did. Read on.
And the Lord thy God will circumcise thine heart. And the heart of thy seed,
read,
to love the Lord thy God.
Keep his laws, read,
with all thy heart, and with all thy soul.
Then what's gonna happen to them other people, read?
That thou mayest live.
That mayest what?
Live.
So when you keeping God's laws, you living, read.
And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
So according to the Bible, when we come back and keep God's laws, he gonna put them curses on our enemy.
That's right.
Our people those people that put that yoke of iron on our neck, that talking about join hand in hand, it's gonna happen to them, according to the Bible. according to the Bible. So we out here saying repent. Give me verse.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.